It's week 2 of the NFL, and we'll see the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. There were no problems for him last week, going over 350 passing yards. It's the Chiefs and the Jaguars, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Coming up, a rematch of last year's AFC Divisional Round matchup as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I...
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback at 6'2" out of Auburn. It's Jarrett Stidham.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. Here's Stidham to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Stidham. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And he used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one lines up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Stidham will throw again. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was hard upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And the officials here are going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. So Tua making the completion there. What's different about playing a left-handed quarterback like him? And specifically, I guess, what does this defense need to try and take away?
I'll take the first part that you asked about being left-handed. We've got to find out if he can move to his right and still continue to be accurate. So I want to push him in that direction and see if he can get his body squared around and make those throws that he's used to making. The next part is he's a dart thrower. Loves those short to intermediate routes first. Sit on those and make him throw the deep ball. Not that he's not capable, but you want him to prove it to you first.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. Touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. They jerked him. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19. To throw is Stidham. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Stidham. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The numbers for Sanders last week: 20 carries, 62 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though.
The pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. Tua going to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. They will go down right around the 47 this time. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there. Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Back to Mixon on second down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Stidham. That's to Schoonmaker, the tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 19-yard line.
Stidham. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, Tua. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A gain of 7 and a first down for the Chiefs.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Now Tua. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. You look at this Jaguar defense. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Here's Bryce Behringer now. Returnable for Lockett. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This defense for the Chiefs, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. On 1st and 10, it's Stidham. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. The Jaguars had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Stidham. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Mixing up the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. Now a 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. 2nd down, Stidham to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Now it's Stidham. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So here are the Chiefs to take over. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Pass on the out route caught by Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And that one complete to Hodgins. Down the sideline he goes. Inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy. How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Just a lone field goal for him so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Stidham. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Stidham to throw. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. From the 41, here's a 2nd and 9. Stidham. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. They also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, into a sea of defenders, unintercepted. Picked up by Bryce Hall. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
On the ground with a tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face man. Defense.
So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
Now Stidham on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Stidham. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
A 32-yard attempt.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to pass. Tua. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with blitz in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Now it's Lockett. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Stidham from the shotgun. And he is caught. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. To throw is Stidham. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. That'll go as a pickup of 8. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Stop short, down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. Second and goal from the 1. He'll look to throw. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that will lead to a third and goal. Mixon. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. On first down, Tagovailoa. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. This a 2nd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
We saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's Drew Sanders who diagnosed that play and stopped him short of the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here comes Sanders on the toss right. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the second straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon to the 43, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Here is 3rd down and 4.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Stidham. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Here's Stidham. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 47-yard line.
Now Stidham. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you try to have a few men in the box there.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. Now 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd down at the Chiefs' 37-yard line.
And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
A 49-yard attempt.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
And no chance to get away as they'll get it down at about the 17-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, but it's 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. A big play there for KC. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. And he's got his man on the out route. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Tua. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So it'll be a loss of 10 on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
you don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and they take the lead out in front at 13-12. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd down and 3. From the gun, it's Stidham. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. 2nd catch for him today, and they'll line up the 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. This is Mixon on the draw. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
But partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 79 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Now it's Stidham. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And here now the punter, Fox, as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense set to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. They'll find Hodgins there complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Tua to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was a good play. An incompletion that feels like a disappointment. The ball was tipped in the air, a chance for an interception, and you can just feel the home crowd coming together thinking, this is the big play we've been looking for. And when it falls to the ground, a little bit of disappointment, even though it was a good play.
And now out come the Jags. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, playing a rush-up drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. And he'll get this out to about the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Here's Knight on the handoff. And this will be a Jaguars 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they're finally able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A handoff as they run the counter play. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 13 at the 42-yard line.
Now they'll throw it with Stidham. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Stidham. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. And that one complete to Hodgins. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And the Chiefs are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Koo for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. In just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. They'll throw on 1st down with Stidham. He's got his big tight end here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second. This is a 1-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a 1st down.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he goes out right around the 39. Here's a 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Stidham. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. And they'll run on the... And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here it is, 4th and inches. Here we go, Stidham on 4th down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got him incomplete. And he's got this down to the 35. Now Stidham. And that's brought in by Knight.
I believe I can see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Chiefs have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you can see what they were trying to do. Just send those guys out there to make a play, but that is a costly interception.
Yeah, that's kind of like the backyard. Everybody go deep, and let's see if we can find someone. 4 verticals in the route. Any other time of the game, I love the call. But here, you're not going to hold safeties. You're not going to hold corners with any looks because they know what the situation is. Ends up throwing the interception.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Kansas City, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.